20 incredible houses you won't believe actually exist. Number 20. Chateau Pensmore. The Chateau Pensmore, also called the Pensmore Mansion or the Pensmore Castle, is a giant property that was constructed in an isolated area in the hills south of Springfield, Montana. It is a slow-moving project spearheaded by a man called Stephen T. Huff, who wants to create an indestructible, energy-efficient home. The chateau is constructed using a new material and technique that makes it 5 times stronger than concrete and would withstand an earthquake, a bomb explosion, and direct contact with an F5 tornado. Although it is currently unfinished, the French chateau-style building already spans 72,000 feet, which is 20,000 more feet than the White House. Number 19. Hollow Ranch. Hollow Ranch is a 95-acre estate just north of Aspen, Colorado in the Rocky Mountains. Hollow Ranch originally belonged to a Saudi prince named Bandar bin Sultan before it was purchased by an American hedge fund manager named John Paulson. 10 years ago, Hollow Ranch was the most expensive estate ever listed in the U.S., priced at $135 million in 2006. $135 million seems like a fair price for a 56,000 square foot area that trumps the White House in size. Hollow comes complete with its own car wash, gas pumps, and a mechanic garage to maintain the owner's car collection. Number 18. 50 Cent's Mansion. 50 Poplar Hill Drive in Farmington, Connecticut is the address of 50 Cent's Crazy Crib. His 51,567 square foot mansion comes complete with all the amenities any rapper could need. 21 bedrooms, 25 bathrooms, an indoor pool, a gym, a basketball court, a green screen studio, a recording studio, and an underground disco room complete with stripper poles. This pimped out mansion is as lavish as they come, but has unfortunately cost 50 Cent more than a pretty penny and has spiraled him into bankruptcy. He's been trying to sell the property for years, but he's struggling to find a buyer. With an $8.5 million asking price and nearly $110,000 in monthly expenses, it's no wonder why. Number 17. The House That Was a Shoe. We've all heard the tale about the old lady who lives in a shoe. Well, artist and hotelier Ron Van Zyl wanted to make that whimsical idea a reality by building this structure. This South African boot home is certainly not made for walking. It is a house built to be both lived in and to display the builder's incredible wood carvings. The home was built in 1990 and has an 8-room guest house, pool, bar, and even a campsite if they want to admire their shoe house from the outside. Number 16. Hearst Castle. The Hearst estate is a huge property that spans several hundred acres and includes a huge ranch and a herd of zebras. The property is actually made up of one main house and several smaller guest houses. Casa Grande, the main house, is 65,000 square feet, with the other houses amassing a total of more than 10,000 square feet. This huge house has seen many celebrity guests and has famously been used as a backdrop in the Godfather films. Although originally a residence for the Hearst family, it was registered as a California state park in 1957 and has been open for tourists to visit ever since. Number 15. Flintstone Home. This 1-bedroom, 2-bathroom rock formation is actually a house in Malibu, California, and it looks like something straight out of the Flintstones. Contrary to what you might believe, it is not actually an homage to that bedrock house Fred and Velma used to live in, but actually a compromise to make the house blend in as much as possible with its surroundings. Number 14. Thin House. This home, built by architect Jakub Szczesny in Warsaw, Poland, barely is known by many as the skinniest house on the planet. The Carrot Home is only a mere 4 feet wide at its widest point, but what makes this place so incredible is even though it appears that the 2 buildings surrounding it are going to swallow it up, the architect brilliantly designed it to let in as much light as possible and give it an incredibly spacious feel, or at least as spacious as a house smaller than a normal human arm span can feel. Number 13. Yogyakarta Dome Homes. These monolithic masterpieces are something special to behold. When the villages of Lepen were struck by earthquakes in 2006, many people lost their homes. So the Domes for the World Foundation stepped in to help with the recovery. 80 dome-shaped or half-egg-shaped houses were built to house some 70 families. Other than their unique aesthetic, the homes have quite a lot to offer the Indonesian village. The domes can pretty easily withstand earthquakes and winds of up to 190 miles per hour. Number 12. Updown Court. Updown Court is infamous for being the most luxurious residence in all of the UK and was estimated to be worth $110 million before it was seized by the bank and sold for a fraction at $30 million. Updown spans 58 acres of land and has 103 unique rooms. The plush palace includes all the regular trappings of any billionaire: a bowling alley, a cineplex, 5 swimming pools, and $13 million worth of marble accents. Number 11. Versailles. The Versailles we're talking about is a 90,000 square foot property in Orange County, Florida. Versailles was once an abandoned construction project in the late 2000s when its owner and CEO of Westgate Resorts was forced to halt construction because of the economic recession. In 2013, he and his wife were finally able to restart construction on their dream home, which includes an 8,000 square foot master bedroom, 30 bathrooms, 15 other bedrooms, 11 kitchens, 6 pools, and a garage that can house 30 cars. The palace is currently near completion and will be the biggest residential property in the nation, if it ever gets done. Number 10. The Manor, also known as the Spelling Manor, named after its previous owners, now belongs to an eccentric British heiress named Petra Ecclestone. The Manor is a 56,500 square foot estate in the posh neighborhood of Holmby Hills, California. Previously the most expensive home in America, priced at $125 million, it was sold at the low price of $85 million to the heiress. Petra became notorious for installing ridiculous things into the home, such as twin statues of Pamela Anderson, a giant fish tank for her pet goldfish, and furnishings that would make the basement look like a nightclub. Number 9. Fairfield Pond. This massive property in the Hamptons totals to about 110 square feet of livable space across several buildings. The property includes a massive lawn, tennis courts, a bowling alley, a basketball court, and a $150,000 hot tub. The Grand Hamptons Getaway belongs to Ira Rennert, an American investor and businessman. Recently, Rennert was accused of embezzling $118 million from the company he used to call MagCorp. Fairfield's price tag is $170 million, and rumor has it that he acquired the property with dirty money. Number 8. Surrealism House. This is not the result of a late night on Photoshop. This is the undoctored image of an actual house. Polish architects seem to enjoy distorting homes as much as possible, as evidenced here by a home designed by architects Jatinski and Zaleski. The house is known by a Polish name which translates to Crooked House. While it is inspired to look like two actual houses, it is actually in the middle of a shopping center. The interior of this house has the same dizzying and almost cartoonish animated feel as the outside. Although the house is aesthetically pleasing, it was reportedly really difficult for the actual construction team to build, as much of the architecture avoids the use of straight lines. Number 7. Airplane House. Usually when it comes to traveling, most people want to get off the airplane and out of the airport as quickly as possible, but that is not the case for this Nigerian couple. They simply could not get enough of it. Liza and her contractor husband Jamal absolutely love traveling so much that they wanted their home to reflect it. Number 6. Istana Nurul Iman Palace. This mind-bogglingly grandiose residence belongs to the Sultan of Brunei, a man named Hassanal Bolkiah. The palace is measured at over 2 million square feet and is easily the biggest residence on Earth. Istana Nurul Iman Palace, which means Palace of Faith and Light, includes 5 swimming pools, a 110-car garage, a stable for 200 ponies, a banquet hall, and a mosque that has a maximum capacity of 1,500 people. Number 5. Antilla, Mumbai. Antilla is the name of a giant futuristic mansion in Mumbai, India, and is allegedly the first billion-dollar residential home to ever exist. It was commissioned by the world's 5th richest man, Mukesh Ambani, the owner of the biggest company in India, Reliance Industries. Mukesh's 27-story mansion towers above the surrounding apartment high-rises and comes complete with a cinema complex, helipads, a health center, and a hanging garden. The 49,000 square foot house has a staff of 600 who maintain the residence all hours of the day. Shockingly, the multi-million-dollar dream mansion remains empty because Mukesh and his family fear they will bring bad luck upon themselves for moving into a house that doesn't line up with Vastu Shastra, a Hindu version of feng shui. Number 4. Maison de l'Amitié. This 60,000 square foot beachside property in Palm Beach, Florida once belonged to the notorious Donald Trump. Maison de l'Amitié included a massive garage that could house more than 50 cars, plus 18 bedrooms, 22 bathrooms, and 3 guest cottages. Number 3. Xanadu 2.0. Bill Gates is the wealthiest man in the United States, so of course his house is as swanky as his wallet will allow. The 66,000 square foot house is built into the environment in Medina, Washington, and uses the trees which surround and grow above the house to keep cooling and heating to a minimum. Xanadu 2.0 is straight out of the future. It has giant wall-sized screens installed around the house that allow anyone to change the display art with a flick of a finger. The pool has a built-in underwater music system and connects to an outside terrace with natural water. This tech-savvy and eco-friendly home is worth more than $150 million. It looks a bit more like a luxurious beach house than the home of a tech billionaire. Number 2. La Reverie. La Reverie is the biggest home in all of Palm Beach, which is not an easy feat considering Palm Beach is the stomping ground of multimillionaires like Donald Trump and James Patterson. The giant 84,620 square foot beachside mansion currently belongs to Sidell Miller, the co-founder of Matrix Essential. The $4.9 million home serves as Miller's residence as well as a site to host charity concerts, balls, and other beneficial events. Number 1. Nautilus House. This house is an ode to the idea of organic architecture, breaking free from the normal boundaries houses are usually constrained by. Senocian architectos used a material called ferrocement, notable for its flexibility and resistance to earthquakes, to build this interesting-looking home. The Mexican couple that commissioned the house were evidently seeking something different for their home.